Hello and welcome back. Today we're talking about lifecycle configuration. Here we have the S3 storage classes. We've talked about all of them. These are the initial 5 we introduced. Then we added one zone and frequent access and then intelligent tiering. Now, lifecycle configuration allows you to configure S3 in such a way that it moves objects from one of these classes to the next, and so on. So it moves objects between these classes after certain periods of time have passed. And you would use this when you know beforehand approximately what the usage pattern is for those certain objects. Now, this is different to intelligent tiering. In intelligent tiering, this is done automatically based on when objects are used or not used. In lifecycle configuration, you hard code when exactly they should be moved. So you can see that you can move from pretty much any class to a class below it. One thing you cannot do is you cannot move up. And another thing to look out for is a trick question. You cannot move from one zone in frequent access to Glacier instant retrieval. Apart from that, you can always move down. Another thing that's not shown here is that you can actually also schedule objects for deletion from any one of these classes. You can say after a certain period of days, the object needs to be deleted. So let's have a look at a use case to understand this a bit better. So imagine you work for a company where there's thousands and thousands of employees and they need to submit their receipts for tax deductible expenses such as their taxi invoices. And now imagine over the course of a month there are thousands, tens of thousands of these receipts, which are all photos or scans, and they take up some space, or maybe even they could be hundreds of thousands depending on the type of company. They might be receipts not just for taxis, but also for certain equipment or certain meals and so on. So what you would do is you would probably store them in S3 standard for 1 month to give the accounting department a month to process them, to include them in the end of month bookkeeping and accounting books. After that, you'd probably move them to S3 standard infrequent access for 3 months in case something needs to be double checked or there's some questions before the quarterly reports are out. So they still might be accessed in those 3 months. But then you have the quarterly reports, and so likely from then on those are finalized, and these receipts are going to be accessed even less. But still, you'd probably keep them in S3 Glacier flexible retrieval for about a year in case in the annual reports there's some questions, something needs to double checked or verified. But then after the annual reports are out for the company, then very unlikely these are going to be accessed because a new year has started, new problems, new concerns, new things have to be processed. So from there, you might want to delete them, but for regulatory purposes, you need to keep them. For instance, in Australia, you have to keep them for 5 years. So you would put them in S3 Glacier Deep Archive, the deepest option and the cheapest option available, for 3 more years and 8 more months. So in total, it adds up to 5 years. And after 5 years have passed, then you can schedule them for deletion. So that's how a lifecycle configuration would work. So here's lifecycle configuration. Of course, you'll be charged for the storage class that you're in, for the storage itself. But here we're looking actually at moving. So moving objects between classes does cost, and this shows us how much it costs. This is per 1,000 requests. And this is how much it costs, like 1 cent, 2 cents into that associated class. So something to keep in mind.